Brandon, can you tell me the title and the author of the book?
Sure. Well, the title of the book is Holes, and the author is named Sachar.
Can you tell me the main characters of the story?
Sure. Well, Stanley, who's a 15-year-old boy who who is sent to Camp Green Lake. Zero, who is a friend of Stanley at Camp Green Lake. He doesn't really like to talk much, but when he meets Stanley, he seems so thrilled with him. Mr. Sir, who's always sarcastic and always says that this isn't a Girl Scouts camp. The warden, who is a cruel lady, she makes the boys dig for a treasure where her family couldn't find. Mr. Feninsky, who is a man that seems to be nice, but later in the story he isn't nice.
Can you tell me the plot and summary of the story?
Sure. Well, in the present time, Stanley Yelnats is arrested for stealing the sneakers of the famous baseball player Clyde Sweetfeet Livingston. The judge does not believe that the sneakers simply flew out of the sky into Stanley's hands. He was sent to Camp Green Lake, a camp for juvenile offenders on an old, dry lake in Texas. Here, the boys are made to dig a hole each day in the hot desert, 5 feet deep and 5 feet across. The warden claims that this is a character building. But soon, it becomes clear that there's something else going on. When Stanley digs up a lipstick case, the warden seems so interested in where it came from. The adults at the camp appear to be looking for something. Stanley's family has a history of bad luck. In the beginning with Stanley's great-great-grandfather, Elia, who lived in Latvia. In the past, Ella wanted to marry a beautiful girl, but he had to give her father a fat pig for exchange for her hand. A gispa called Madame Zeroni took a pity on him and told him to do a ritual. He did this, but on the last day he was released, and he did not love the girl after all. And he did not finish the ritual. Since then, Stanley's family believes that they have been cursed. Stanley's great-grandfather, also called Stanley Yelnats, made a lot of money on the stock market. Unfortunately, he was robbed in an outlaw called Kissin' Kate in the desert while traveling home. He took a refuge on a mountain while Kate buried the treasure for safety. Kissin' Kate was once a school teacher in Green Lake. Catherine became a bandit, Kissin' Kate. When the townspeople killed Sam, the man she loved, for the crime of kissing a white woman. Since that day, no rain has fallen in that area. Back in the present at Camp Green Lake, Stanley makes friends with a boy named Zero. He teaches Zero to read and write. And Zero helps him dig holes for exchange. One day, Mr. Pendinsky, one of the adults at the camp, makes fun of Zero, insulting that he is too stupid to learn. Zero loses his temper. He hits Mr. Pendinsky with his shovel and then runs away into the desert. Stanley hears the other adults discussing what to do. They erase Zero from their files, who is a ward of the state, from their records, and conclude that he will die in the desert. Stanley decides that he cannot abandon abandon his friend. He runs away into the desert to look for Zero and finds him hiding in the shade under a bough. Zero eats spiced peaches from a jar and finds the old bow and gets sick. Stanley has to carry him up a mountain until he comes to a place with water and onions. He sings a pig lullaby, which has been passed down through the generations in his family. The onions and water help Zero to recover. After a few days, Stanley and Zero return to the camp and begin to dig where Stanley found the lipstick. Stanley believes that there will be a treasure there. Sure enough, they unearth an old suitcase. However, before they have time to examine it, the adults find them. The warden demands they hand over the case. But at that moment, yellow spotted lizards begin to emerge from the hole Stanley has dug. Everyone freezes. Just one bite from a yellow spotted lizard is instantly fatal, and those creatures are very aggressive. They stand for hours until the Attorney General arrives. Stanley's name has been cleared, and she is here to collect him. The warden claims that Stanley was trying to steal her suitcase, but Zero points out that the suitcase has Stanley's name on it, and it must be his. The case does have Stanley Yelnats on it, written on it, as this is the money that Kissin K has stolen from Stanley's great grandfather over 100 years ago. Stanley asks the Attorney General if Zero can come with them. She checks Zero's files, but the warden has already deleted them, all the records of him. There is therefore no reason to keep him at the camp, and he leaves with Stanley. The warden and the other adults, descendants of the townspeople who killed Sam and who have been searching for Kate's treasure ever since, are punished for abusing the children at Camp Greens Lake. Zero is reunited with his mother, and Stanley discovers that his father has invented a new foot odor eliminator. On top of that, the money from the suitcase will make them very wealthy. It turns out that Zero is short for Zeroni. He is a descendant of Madame Zeroni. Stanley's family luck began to change that night. He carried Zero up a mountain to spot where the water runs backwards, and then sang to the pig lullaby to him. Thereby, finally completing the ritual of Layla failed to carry out so many years ago.
Brand, what was your favorite part about the book?
My favorite part about the book was that Zero could reunite with his family. The reason why I chose that was because that he spent his money to find his mother, if I was that mother, I would be so proud of my son. And that's my book report. And I hope you liked my book. I hope that I made you excited about holes.